He watched helplessly as the assailant used a knife to sever his left hand. But strangely, no blood flowed from the wound, only green fluid. The severed left hand seemed to writhe in pain, which only excited the assailant more. He raised a hammer and struck the man's head. Meanwhile, another man identical to David suddenly awoke. He looked at his left hand, quickly inserted a chip into a machine port, then immediately lay back down. Shortly after, he successfully connected to his replicant. At this moment, he was already tied up. The assailants brought his family into the living room. They weren't replicants. However, the assailants knew this perfectly well. They didn't kill David's synthetic counterpart.
Defying nature must have a cost.
Please, please, no!
Absolutely.
No!
You start.
Then, the assailant murdered David's entire family, including his children, right in front of him. Subsequently, they burned his replicant. The next second, David awoke, along with his colleague, Cliff. At this point, they were on a mission in space, heading to a life-sustaining planet 120,000 light-years away. To prevent them from developing psychological issues, during the 6-year journey, the government had created replicants for them before their departure. They could use a consciousness transfer device to control their replicants on Earth and spend time with their families. Upon learning of his family's murder, Cliff immediately sought out David to comfort him, but it only provoked David's resentment.
I said get out of here!
From that day on, David became increasingly negative, losing interest in everything. It wasn't until he saw his family's funeral on television, along with news of the killer voluntarily surrendering, that a flicker of despair appeared in David's eyes. This meant he could no longer avenge his family. One day, as Cliff was fishing with his son, his watch alerted him to an anomaly in the airlock. This meant David might be trying to commit suicide. He frantically ran home. When he reached the airlock door, he saw David inside, motionless. He opened the hatch and asked David,
"Everything okay?" "Sure. Just looking things over."
Despite David saying he was fine, Cliff was still scared. However, Cliff didn't know that even more terrifying events were about to unfold.